Welcome to this training exercise on how to create an integrated help system for your AutoCAD OEM based application. The exercise material used in this video is available on Texel 3D Developer Zone as a downloadable archive. Let's start by doing what we always do when digging into OEM things. Check what the OEM developer's manual says. In this chapter, there's a section describing how to create context-sensitive help for the native commands of AutoCAD OEM. The help file creation process has always been very complicated in OEM. The directions in the developer's manual are still not entirely accurate, but you can actually achieve the desired result following these instructions. The entire command and feature set documentation of AutoCAD OEM is provided as HTML. You are not allowed to redistribute any of the SDK or API documentation with your product. With minor adjustments, we will follow these instructions given here. Let's have a look at the HTML content provided with the OEM platform. The topics are named exactly as the command names. If we look at one of the command files in the text editor, we see that there is a JavaScript redirection to the actual content, which for the native command will be an automatically generated GUID. When we search for the referenced GUID file, we find the actual 3D continuous orbit command description. In Windows Explorer Preview, external images are blocked, but opening the file in the browser displays it correctly. What we need to do to hook into this automated behavior is to create our custom content in the same way. There's a downloadable archive with some sample content on Texel 3D Developer Zone training area. When you extract that archive to your local disk, you're supposed to have these files. This is the custom command for creating a polygon in the PolySamp application of the Object-ARX SDK. When we open the file in the text editor, we see that we have a redirection to a file named Global Poly. That is purely to emphasize that ASDK_poly is the global command name. If you have a non-English local command name, you may redirect to another file, perhaps named local poly, that describes the command in German, Italian, Spanish, or whatever local language you support with the product. Just make sure you keep the main HTML file name identical to the global name. You could also rename the ASDK_poly to your local command name, but using local command names for help topics are not picked up by the dynamic input tooltip or command line auto-completion. You'd need to enter the actual command before F1 will trigger the context-sensitive help. To build our custom poly HTML into the product help file, we need to copy these to the same location as the native HTML content. At some point, you need to configure your custom module settings in the Make Wizard using the global command name. In our PolyCAD application, this is already done. Your module settings tab is not part of the scope of this class. If you need to learn about that, you can check the virtual training video called Basics of AutoCAD OEM, also in the Developer Zone training area. Let's go back to the developer's manual and see if we can now follow the steps in there. We need to copy this code to create an HTML workshop project file. I'm using Notepad++ for this. Saving the file with extension HHP, which I believe is not supported here, so I'll select all file types. The naming of this file is not really important. I'll stick with the standard naming of OEM custom content. For this exercise, it's also convenient to save it in the same location as the HTML files we will be needing. Let's go back to the OEM Help. We're not following the suggested naming convention because we want the help file system to work as smoothly as possible, sticking to the OEM standard we've learned from other training classes. Now let's open a command prompt to add our content to the help project. Make sure we run in admin mode and navigate to the location of our help files and project file. We're going to use the concatenate feature of the dir command, adjusting the project name, removing HTML extension, otherwise we'll get all of them twice in our project file. Alright, switch to Notepad++. Verify we have all the files, especially our custom ASDK_poly file and the global poly file. Okay, next step seems to be to compile the help project using HTML Workshop. That can be found in the archive from our developer zone, unless you have it already. It may come with some versions of Windows or other Microsoft software. Oh no, I just realized I forgot to adjust something in the HHP file. This is not absolutely necessary. You can just rename the created file once it's built. This being an educational video, I'd better do things properly. Now, we can open the project in HTML Help Workshop. It's not part of this class to dig into this tool. That is left as an exercise to the user to create even more professional help files using the capabilities of HTML Help Workshop and other HTML editing tools out there. The compilation will take a while, so I'll cut this out from the final video. We can see that the CHM file containing 8,500 topics was successfully created. Next step is to add the file to our AutoCAD Make Wizard project. We need to use the mode copy file and target the help folder of the AutoCAD application. Now, just build and run to see if it works. Let's start by running a native command like line. Hit F1. Alright. Let's also test our custom poly command. Hit F1. That was the command line. Seems to work as expected. What if we try the ribbon menu button for ASDK_poly? I hover the button, hit F1. This means the ribbon UI needs a different CHM file. I could create one specifically for the ribbon, or I could simply make a copy of the one we have created. In the Make Wizard, add the ribbon UI help file. For a quicker build, when full build is not needed, uncheck Build All, check only Copy Files, and Build. Bam! Run. Hover the AutoCAD command button, hit F1. Yeah, I want to go and have a beer and watch TV like Homer Simpson does. One last thing that I want to mention when it comes to help files. What you've seen is fully automated standard behavior and how to hook into that. There is another option using the APIs of ObjectARX though. If we look up the poly command in the PolySAMP Visual Studio solution, this is the implementation. If I place a call to ACED set fun help at the beginning or anywhere else in my code, I can redirect the current help topic to something else if the user hits F1. If you write managed code, you have this option as well. You simply use the command method attribute overload that lets you specify help file and topic. If you don't have a context menu, you can pass null for that parameter. This could be an alternative option during certain conditions, perhaps when you're using a third-party toolkit or other documentation resources that are separate from the HTML we just created. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it was worthwhile and to the benefit for your business and your end users. Ciao.